Let's start in Ukraine, where the general in charge of the country's counteroffensive against Russia has told the BBC that his forces are struggling to overcome Russian defences and move forward quickly. General Alexander Tarnevsky said Russia's multi-layered minefields, their fortified defensive lines, were making it difficult for military equipment, including Western-supplied tanks and armoured vehicles, to advance. To remind you, Ukraine's counteroffensive is now in its second month, but progress has been slow. Areas shown here in red are those currently under Russian military control. They include the cities of Donetsk and Mariupol.
North Korea staged a huge military parade on Thursday night as widely expected to mark the 70th anniversary of the armistice that ended the Korean War, or what the North calls Victory Day. The opening ceremony for the event started at around 8 p.m., followed by the parade, which went on for about 2 hours. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and government delegations from China and Russia who had come to Pyongyang this week also attended the parade. This appears to show that the North is backed by the two neighboring countries. One expert also says the delegation taking part in the event likely means the North's COVID-19 lockdown is coming to an end.
People in Niger woke to a divided country after mutinous soldiers claimed to have ousted the president. The soldiers say they had seized control because of the deteriorating security and bad economic and social governance. Niger's government says it will never accept their rule and has called for the population to reject it. This comes after a day of uncertainty as members of Niger's presidential guard surrounded the presidential palace, detaining President Mohamed Bazoum. Bazoum was elected in 2021 in the West African nation's first peaceful democratic transfer of power since its independence from France in 1960.
The Ugandan and Zimbabwean presidents met with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday on the sidelines of the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg. During the bilateral meeting, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni invited Russia to take part in oil exploration in East Africa. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa voiced support for Russia in the conflict in Ukraine. The southern African country has previously abstained from United Nations resolutions criticizing Russia's actions in Ukraine.
Allegiant Air 485 had just taken off from Fort Lauderdale, headed for Lexington, Kentucky when it happened. The pilot forced to make a sudden extreme climb, 600 feet in seconds, to avoid another plane, throwing flight attendants to the floor and terrifying passengers. The FAA says it happened when controllers put the Allegiant flight and a Gulfstream business jet on intersecting routes both at 23,000 feet. Climb. That's when both planes' collision avoidance warnings, known as TCAS, activated, ordering the Allegiant pilot to immediately climb and the Gulfstream pilot to descend.
It was already an apocalyptic scene as wildfires ravaged this part of central Greece. But then the blazes triggered a series of explosions at an Air Force ammunition depot, forcing onlookers to flee. The warehouse, which had been evacuated before the blasts, is just 6 kilometers north of a major military airbase. It was spared. The same couldn't be said for homes in the nearby city of Volos, where windows felt the force of the explosions.